am back to do a quick video on how to talk to a military recruiter. Now, I know a lot of people who say that talking to a recruiter is nerve-wracking or they don't want to talk to a recruiter, but one thing to understand is they are people just like you and I. There's honestly nothing to fear. And I understand that some recruiters, when you hear the term recruiter, you kind of get a bad image in your head, or you've heard of a bad reputation. But I want you to know that most recruiters are actually really good people, and there's always those few bad apples that spoil the whole bunch, right? But before you do go talk to a recruiter, I highly suggest that you go over the tips that I'm about to go over with you, and I think that'll help you get through and maybe even expedite the process slightly. All right, so let's get started. The first tip I have written down is do your research. Do not just blindly go walk into the office with no idea what branch you want to join, have no idea what job you want to join. If you don't even know your motivation as to why you're trying to join, these are all very important things that you should know before you even walk inside the recruiting office, okay? So the big one would be researching what jobs you would like to do or what branch you wish to join. Start general and then build more specific. So first, if it were me, pick which branch you would like to join. Which branch best represents you and what you would like to accomplish? For instance, if you're really into tech and you're very technologically savvy, and that's what you want to do inside of the military, maybe joining the Army or the Marine Corps infantry isn't the best choice for you, or vice versa. If you're really good with your hands and you're good at working on vehicles, maybe being cybersecurity or cyber intel guy isn't the right job for you. So have an idea of the branch that you're wishing to join, and also have an idea of what job you would like to perform. Okay. Next step I would suggest is make a list of questions that you're going to have for the recruiter. So even once you pick possibly what branch you want to join and what job or jobs you would like to talk to the recruiter about, have a list of questions ready. It'll make the whole process go a lot smoother, and you'll rely less on the recruiter and more on yourself, which is important. You don't really want to be swindled into something that you're not really looking forward to doing. So have a list of questions. Now also have some questions that you already know the answer to. So again, do your research. And the reason I say that is because it kind of tests the waters to see what kind of recruiter you may be dealing with. If you know something is 100% fact, you ask a question that you truly know, and they give you a completely different answer, they may not be the best recruiter to work with. And it's your world. If you don't like that recruiter, go see a different recruiter. There's no shame in doing that whatsoever. One thing that I wish I would have done that I did not do my first time enlisting was bring someone who was in the military with you. So whether that's a friend or a family member, maybe your parents, one of your parents was in the military, bring them with you. And that way that kind of helps also, helps you not maybe get swindled or talked into something that you're not wanting to do. When you go see a recruiter and you're 17, 18, 19 years old, you're very impressionable. I don't really think that's a big secret. So to have someone who's a little bit potentially older, or someone who has been there and done that, they're not going to be as impressionable as you may be. Another thing I would suggest is have an idea whether you want to go active duty or reserves based on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to go to college and that's your main goal, but you're thinking of joining the military, active duty may not be the best route for you. I have another video, more specific, active duty versus reserves. So if you have more specific questions, go check that out. But have an idea of what you would like to do. If you're really gung-ho about going active duty and they keep trying to shove reservists down your throat, that's something to keep in mind. Don't do it if it's not what you want to do. If you really want to be a motor T operator and they keep trying to get you to be a mechanic, don't do it. Do what it is that you want to do. All right. One thing to keep in mind is, what is your motivation to join? A lot of people have different motivations as to why they're trying to join the military, and usually they're all very acceptable reasons why. So you got to ask yourself, is it money for college? Is it loan repayment? Is it just service to one's country? Do you want to travel? Do you just want a steady paycheck? Maybe it's the healthcare. Whatever that is, always keep that in the back of your mind as to why you're trying to join. That'll help you through the entire process. You always have to constantly remind yourself why it is you're doing this, and it will help you get through a lot of situations. So that's pretty much the gist of what I am trying to get you to understand of what you need to do before you talk to your recruiter. I didn't do any of this before I went to talk to a recruiter, and that's kind of how I come to make these videos. Is I'm going off of the mistakes that I've made that I don't want other people to make. All right. Another thing is, after you talk to the recruiter, they're going to have you take a test. This test is called the ASVAB, the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. Basically what this test is, it's going to test you on some general knowledge, including reading comprehension, math, arithmetic, and they're going to have some science sections and a mechanical comprehension as well. Now, this is going to go on at MEPS. Once you take this test, MEPS stands for Military Entrance Processing Station. It's where you go get your physical, you take this test, and they see if you're qualified to be in the military. My point is, once you get these test results back from the ASVAB, that is going to help determine what job you qualify for. So for most branches, as far as I know, the very minimum is between 30 to 50. Where I live, the minimum for Air Force was 50. The minimum for the Army and Marine Corps was 31, I believe. So what does that mean? That means if you don't score 31 or above, you're not going to be able to enlist. So you have to study for this test. I'm going to make a separate video about MEPS and a separate video about the ASVAB. I'm not going to get too detailed about it in this video. However, a quick search on Google about the ASVAB, you'll understand the importance of it. It's not an extremely hard test. If you've taken the SATs or the ACTs, it's not as hard as either of those tests. It's just a bunch of basic knowledge, and they're testing your ability on it. Again, I suggest, even though it's an extremely difficult test, I would study for it, especially if you're a little bit older and you've been out of high school for a couple of years, because a lot of these, basic principles perish. You don't remember them, so it's just good to brush up on them before you go take it. So again, that's just some things that I didn't do. Now, when I made the switch over to the United States Marine Corps, I did study for the ASVAB, and I scored a lot better than I did the first go around when I initially enlisted with the Army National Guard. So again, I lived, I learned, and now I'm trying to tell you so you don't make the same exact mistakes that I did. That's it for this video. Again, I'm going to be making a MEPS video, Military Entrance Processing Station, and an ASVAB video. So if you do have specific questions about those, definitely comment below. If you want different tips, or you ask a specific question about meeting with military recruiter that I may or may not have covered in this video, again, be sure to comment below, and I will do my best to get back to you guys. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with the new videos that I'm producing, in case maybe you're in the enlistment process right now and you don't know what the next step is, and I might be covering it. So follow my Instagram, Devil Dog Dumbbell. That's more health and fitness based if you're trying to get in shape before you leave for boot camp. Please check that out. I think you'll really enjoy the content over there. And as always, more good stuff coming soon, guys. See ya.